Andrea Docherty joins us, and she's going to help us out. Andrea, there's a lot out there, and I think having you on is going to help guide us and literally steer us in the right direction. So maybe we should just start off with talking about keto, because right now that seems to be the big thing.
Yeah, keto is really popular right now, and I can talk a little bit about what the ketogenic diet is if you'd like. But basically, the ketogenic diet is a very high fat and low carbohydrate diet. So you're getting 70% of your calories coming from fat and only 5% coming from carbohydrates. So what that diet is going to look like is a lot of high fat foods like butter, oil, meat, dairy foods, eggs, avocados, and then really low carb foods like leafy green vegetables. Okay. So this really compares to what Health Canada recommends our calories to come from, where at least half of your diet is coming from carbohydrates, like 50% of your calories, and only about 15 to 35% coming from fat. So when you follow the ketogenic diet, you're eliminating a lot of healthy foods. So fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans and legumes, and instead going for really high fat foods. And the reason that people do this is because when you have a really high fat diet, then your body gets into a state of ketosis. So your body starts to use these ketones for fuel as opposed to carbohydrates. Our body wants to use carbohydrates for energy, or glucose, but then when we really restrict those carbohydrates, our body starts using ketones. So what it does is breaks down our body fat or fat in our diet into these ketone bodies, and then our body can use that for fuel. So when we're in a state of ketosis, the benefit there may be that you have more energy. Some people claim that they have more energy. They don't feel as hungry often. But again, it can be, as you can hear, it can be a very restrictive diet.
I think more importantly, it's all about eating a balanced diet and eating foods when you're into that menopausal stage that don't increase your inflammation, because I think that's another issue with menopause, when you're eating foods that create inflammation, and when you have inflammation you don't feel well, so when you don't feel well you want to crave certain foods. And
is that more about cutting out sugar though?
But not just sugar. I mean, sugar isn't the only thing that causes inflammation.
Yeah,
it does cause inflammation.
So too much of added sugars. So I wouldn't say natural sugars that are found in fruits and vegetables or in unsweetened dairy. But yes, highly refined carbohydrates or processed foods like, say, an ice cream or certain sugary cereals. Those types of things can cause inflammation.
Cheetos? I think Cheetos are okay.
I think Cheetos are a pass food.
Yeah, but then if you can,
they're dairy, Karen. They're dairy.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah.
They might be flammable.
That's true.
Flammable dairy.
Don't listen to anything that we
I know.
say. That's Do not listen to anything we advise you to do. Let's listen to the expert.
Yeah, things that are, if you very processed come in a package, these may cause inflammation or not be the best choices, but things that are going to decrease inflammation would be omega-3 fatty acids, so making sure we're getting enough of those in our diet. So a high source of omega-3 would be fatty fish like salmon, trout, mackerel. If you can get that 2 to 3 times a week, that's a great way to reduce inflammation. Getting enough fiber in your day as well from fruits and vegetables, beans and legumes, those have been shown to be anti-inflammatory. And then even if you're looking at a whole dietary pattern, one that has been shown in research to be anti-inflammatory and also support heart health would be the Mediterranean diet.
And maybe we can touch that a little bit.
Yeah, I love that diet. That's my all-time favorite diet.
And we're going to touch on that briefly in just a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about intermittent diet, the proper way to diet as well, and a little bit on the Mediterranean diet, and what to do if you're menopausal. How do you get rid of that extra belly fat and extra weight? That's all coming up on
never
the next
goes away, I hate
Friends.
to tell you.
With it never goes away?
Menopause never ends.
Stop.
I'm sorry.